On January 1, 1901, 6 colonies were joined together to create the Commonwealth of Australia, a self-governing dominion in the British Empire. While the new nation was sovereign when it came to its domestic affairs, the United Kingdom maintained control over its relations with the wider world. Over the next 4 decades, Australia gradually gained control over its external policy. The Balfour Declaration of 1926, issued at the end of the Imperial Conference held in London that year, recognized that the United Kingdom and the Dominions were autonomous communities within the British Empire, equal in status, in no way subordinate one to another in any aspect of their domestic or external affairs. In December 1931, the United Kingdom approved the Statute of Westminster, codifying this relationship. The statute specified, however, that its provisions would not come into effect until formally adopted by the Government of Australia. On October 9, 1942, Australia's Statute of Westminster Adoption Act became law. The Act was made effective retroactive to September 3, 1939, the date of the commencement of the war between His Majesty the King and Germany. The year 2010 marks the 70th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the United States and Australia. The United States recognized Australia on January 8, 1940, when the governments of the United States and Australia announced the establishment of bilateral diplomatic relations. On January 8, 1940, the governments of the United States and Australia announced the establishment of bilateral diplomatic relations. On July 9, 1946, the White House announced the elevation of the Australian and American legations to embassy status. On September 11, 1946, Norman J. O. Markin presented his credentials as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Australia to the Government of the United States. On September 25, 1946, Robert Butler presented his credentials as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the United States to the Government of Australia.